everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to show you how to buy your first skateboard. Let's check this out. All right, exciting day. You're getting your first board, or maybe you just haven't been in it for a while and you want to get back into it, and you want to get yourself a new board, get out and ride and have some fun. So it's pretty easy. If you haven't skateboarded before, it's almost impossible to get the wrong board. One thing that we do suggest is that if you do buy a skateboard, buy it from a actual skateboard company. You can see some of the department stores have got skateboards, and they really are inferior products. The wood is not the same woods. They're not very durable. I've even seen some where the bearings inside are not even bearings. They're actually pieces of plastic molded to look like a bearing. And it definitely, it's kind of a nice, cheaper route to go, but it can really turn somebody off of skateboarding just because the products just do not work the way that they're supposed to. So make sure you buy something from a skateboard company, and you're gonna get good quality stuff no matter what pieces and parts you get. So right off the bat, we can obviously pick out your board. There's a lot of different decks out there, a lot of different shapes and sizes. Most of the decks on standard from 7.75 up to around 8.5 inches. A lot of the most popular decks right now are kind of in that 8 to 5 inch wide deck. Usually I say that if you have a little bit smaller feet, stick with a little bit smaller deck. If you got a little bit bigger feet or you're a little bit bigger person, go with a little bit bigger deck. But in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's just personal preference. But again, if you do have that smaller foot, having a 7.75 deck, let's say like a size 7 or 8 foot, can make it a little easier to turn the board. When you get on a wider board and your feet aren't hanging off as much, it can be a little harder to turn. But again, at the end of the day, a bigger board is more stable. So it's just kind of a personal preference there. But again, you really can't get the wrong size board. All else fails, just stay in that 8-inch range and you'll be good to go. The cool thing is later on down the line, as you get better and you kind of decide like, oh, maybe I do want a little bit bigger board. Maybe I do want a smaller board. You want to kind of get those different pieces and parts. The cool thing is again, when you buy from an actual skateboard company, everything is standard. So these hole patterns that hold the trucks on and the hole patterns on the trucks, the wheels, the bearings, everything is compatible. So you can always get a different size deck, get different size wheels, bearings, trucks. You can get those different pieces and parts. And when you're buying your first skateboard, yeah, it can be a little pricey compared to those department store boards, but you only have to buy it once. If you have something that goes wrong, you break the board, you leave it out in the rain, you can buy just the board and swap all your pieces over. Let's say you accidentally roll through a puddle and you forget to take your bearings, not your wheels, your bearings, you forget to dry your bearings off and they rust up, you can get just bearings. So the cool thing is every single skateboard company has compatible pieces and parts. So you can put that board together. So if you do want to piece together a board, basically the things that you're gonna need a deck, obviously, and then you're gonna need grip tape. So the grip tape is basically, it's kind of like a sandpaper, but you basically stick that on the top of the board and that gives you your grip, help keep you on the board, and also makes it easier to do your tricks and stuff. And there's, standard black grip tape. This one in the middle looks tan. It's actually clear. It's kind of crazy how actually clear it is. And then obviously there's a lot of graphic grip tapes, and, have some fun, do whatever you want to do. I like graphic grip tapes, or sometimes I'll take just a plain color grip tape and I'll, put a little mark on it somewhere so you can kind of tell what the nose and the tail is, because most boards actually do have a specific nose and tail, even though they look similar. But yeah, so you got your board, you got your grip tape. Let's keep working our way to the ground. You're gonna need hardware. So hardware is pretty easy. If you're just doing a standard skateboard, no risers or anything, just standard 7/8 or 1-inch hardware is all you need. And that's basically gonna hold your trucks on your board. So when you buy trucks, you want to buy trucks that match the width of your board as well. So you don't want to get a 7.75 board and then get an 8-inch truck. Nice thing is on our website, if you actually look at the sizing charts for the trucks, we kind of break it down because some of the companies, label their trucks as like a 5.0, and then another one will be measured in millimeters, then another one will be measured in inches. But we have a size chart that breaks down all the trucks we carry and tells you which size fits the correct size board and kind of gives you a good suggestion there. So then once you've got your trucks, you're going to need your bearings. Your bearings basically go inside your wheels, and that's what makes the board spin. The more money you spend on your bearings, the less pushing you have to do. And then wheels. Most of the wheels we're going to be looking at pretty average size is going to be in the 52, 53 range, but a lot of the standard skate wheels are going to be in, let's say, the 50 to 55 range. And then if you go bigger, you get a little bit more stable, but your board is higher off the ground. And then if you go smaller, you get a little bit closer to the ground and your board can flip a little bit quicker, but it's not quite as fast too, and doesn't roll over some of the cracks and stuff as easy. So pretty standard sizing I got on that. If you're not sure, just get a 52, 53, 54, somewhere in that range, and you'll be good to go because you're gonna wear those wheels down over time anyway. And those are the pieces that you need. One other thing that we do suggest is get yourself a skate tool. You don't need this. I'm not sitting here telling you gotta have a skate tool, but this skate tool has all the tools that you need to put a skateboard together and to adjust it. Even to this one, the Andale one, even has a file on it to help grip your skateboard. But again, all the tools that you need to put a skateboard together are in your toolbox at home. But if you need to make those, adjustments on the fly, or if you just don't want to have to find all those tools, they're all right there. So those are basically all the parts that you need to get your skateboard. And then the other thing that I always like to say too is, if you're not you haven't been skating for a while, or you're just brand new to it, look at the completes. The completes are a great way to get into skateboarding and actually save yourself a couple bucks. Sometimes what'll happen is, maybe the companies will have some boards where the graphic is off, or, maybe there's like a little scratch on it, or, but basically what it is, it's something that doesn't affect the performance of the board, just the look of it. And what they'll do is they'll build up completes and they'll sell them to us a little cheaper, so we can sell them to you a little bit cheaper too. So the cool thing is that you're getting the same quality deck that you're getting if you buy it separately, the same quality wheels. The bearings are gonna be a little bit more basic bearing. That's the one thing that you definitely can upgrade, but there's still good bearings in there. And then the trucks, you're just gonna get a good standard truck, but again, it's a standard aluminum truck that's made exactly like the trucks that you pick out separately. So they might not have a name brand name on it, but it's still gonna be a good truck from a skateboard company. And again, something you can always upgrade later on. But if you have never ridden before, or it's been a while, you're not gonna know the difference. And again, something you can always do later on down the line. But completes are a great way to help save a couple bucks, and then maybe upgrade your pieces and parts later on down the line. But there's absolutely no shame in buying those completes, because again, all the pieces and parts are still made and designed by an actual skateboard company. All right, well, thanks for checking out our video on how to buy your first skateboard. If you've got any questions too about any of the specifics on any of the boards, trucks, bearings, wheels, grip tapes, any of that stuff, feel free to leave us some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into some cool gear, but we want to make sure we get you into the right gear for your size and your riding style too. Subscribe, get that bell on too, so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And whether you're brand new to the sport or you're getting back into it, get yourself a board and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.